In this segment, we're going to learn how to create the network diagram. The network diagram can be found under the tree. If we expand the site project, go to phases, desk study, and here is our network diagram. When we right-click the network diagram and create network diagram, we have the choice of creating a diagram that is source pathway receptor, contaminant pathway receptor, source contaminant pathway receptor. We're going to choose source pathway receptor. The network diagram comes up and it contains the components that we have already added to our data model, our infill ponds, our gravel aquifer, and our river. To add extra elements, for example, a pathway, we will do that through the tree. Go back to the tree, find pathways, right-click to create a new pathway. We can automatically choose a name, for example, ingestion, or we can write our own name in. I'm going to write unsaturated zone. We then go back to our network diagram and auto-generate it again. We'll see that the new element has been added. The next thing we want to do is to add some linkages. So we go to our element, we right-click, choose Create Linkage, and we've got some options. We want to go from sources to pathways, so we'll choose the source to pathway option. And in this case, we only have one item that we can pick from, the unsaturated zone. We'll copy it to the selection and apply. Now, if you want to see it, you need to refresh, and there our linkage is present. Similarly, to link our unsaturated zone to the gravel aquifer pathway that goes here, we're going to right-click unsaturated zone, create linkage, choose what we want to link it to, in this case the gravel aquifer, copy that to the selection and apply. And to see it, we'll refresh, and there our linkage is present. We can change the colour scheme if we wish. Again, we right-click, set the box colour, so maybe we want that to be a purpley colour. There it is, purple. And we might want to change this linkage as well. So we right click, set the linkage colour. Let's make it pink. And we have changed the linkage colour. We can move the boxes around. We can change the size of the boxes. Changes like box colour, linkage colour, and box size changes don't persist. So when we shut the network diagram down, they won't be there when we reopen it. So we would change this kind of visual tweaking to the end once we had worked out what we wanted our network diagram to look like. So I've closed and reopened the network diagram, and we can see our changes haven't persisted. On the other hand, we can change component names, and they do persist. Let's say, for the sake of argument, we wanted to give our gravel aquifer a better name, and we checked out the geology and discovered that these superficial deposits were actually more correctly called the Boyne Hill gravel. So that this is the Boyne Hill gravel aquifer. I could change the name here in the tree, rename component, but equally I can change the name within the network diagram if that's where I think about it. So rename component, Boyne Hill gravel aquifer, okay. And when I shut the network diagram down and look at my receptors, it has changed now in the tree to the Boyne Hill gravel aquifer. And we can also use our network diagram to show that we've broken linkages. So if we go back into the network diagram, and let's say, for the sake of argument, that the contamination in this pond has been removed, so this linkage to the unsaturated zone has been broken, we can right-click our link, click Break Linkage, and give it a reason, removal of contaminated soil. And the linkage now shows as broken. And we can reverse that by clicking the cross and unbreaking the linkage, and our linkage is restored. So that is creating the network diagram.